Welcome back to Any Recap. Today we will cover the series Full-Time Magister. Leave a like if you enjoyed, and let's jump right in. The series begins with Mofan, a Shulin Junior School student who exits the examination hall without writing anything. He admits that he isn't a bad student, but that he couldn't finish the paper since it was about magic. Meanwhile, the other students surround Mubai, a brilliant student, and begin talking about how pitiful Mofan is. However, when Mofan exits the school, he notices his father waiting for him. Mofan informs him that his paper did not go well since he only studied for 3 months, whereas the paper included 9 years of content. In response, his father tells him not to worry since he has a nice driving job for him. When Mofan hears this, he tells his father that he wants to be a mage, but his father replies that he understands how much his son wants to be a mage, but they don't have any other options since Mofan lacks any abilities. Seeing his son's determination to become a mage, he promises him that he will find a way, and the two go. Later, on his way home with a friend, who informs him that Muning has returned and is much more beautiful than before, but Mofan doesn't seem to care and his companion is surprised. Suddenly, he notices his father pleading with Mr. Mu to admit his kid to the mage school. Mu informs his father, Mo Jackson, that his son failed the exams and that, having already eloped with the Mu family's heiress, the Mu family has no reason to assist him. Mo's father responds that they caught them quickly and Miss Mu was not wounded. He then continues to persuade him, but he starts to criticize him for failing to offer a better education for his kid. Mo Jackson assures him that if the Mu family would help him enroll his kid at the magic school, he will do anything. Mr. Mu agrees and instructs him to pledge his home to him. He goes on to say that the home isn't worth much and is junk, but the land is wonderful. Mofan observes this and thinks about how cruel the world is since the rich and powerful are always preying on the poor and vulnerable. Later, at their house, his father makes supper and informs him that he has the potential to become a mage. He goes on to say that he knows the director since he was a classmate of his. Mofan is aware he continues to believe his narrative. He tells them that they would rent out their home since he will be driving and Mofan will be at his dorm. Playing along with his father, Mofan becomes enthusiastic about becoming a great wizard and providing a comfortable life for his family. He enters his room, writes Mu Ningsu in his notepad, and begins to contemplate. In a flashback, he meets a young girl with white hair as they prepare to flee. She begs him to take her somewhere other than here. They are captured, however, and Mofan and his father are seized by the Mu family. His father asks them to simply punish him since his kid is still too young to understand. The Mu family's head kicks him and threatens Mofan that if he ever sees Miss Mu again, he would shatter his bones. The next day, he goes to Sky Magic High School with his friend, and the instructor requires them to wear badges in class. He tells the students that when they lay their hands on the magical sphere, their badges will change color, showing their magical skill. Mubai initially lays his hands on it, revealing his ice type of power. Then, one by one, the other kids place their hands on it. When it's Mofan's turn, he walks toward the orb, and everyone starts laughing at him. His instructor urges him to relax as he lays his palm on the ball. He hopes that his student awakens some power, or else the whole class will mock him. Suddenly, a student from another class wakes one of the rarest types of magic, Thunder type, and everyone rushes to see him. Meanwhile, Mofan is still attempting to modify the hue of the sphere. His orb glows deep orange when he is the last one left in the room. Mofan opens his eyes to find no one there as he demonstrates his magic type on the orb. He then wonders how powerful he must be to have 2 magical types, fire and thunder. Suddenly, his classmates come and begin mocking him for failing to awaken his magical kind despite his best attempts. However, when they check his hands, they see the fiery orb. His teacher is overjoyed to discover that his student has awakened fire-type magic, and everyone surrounds him. As everyone congratulates him, he reflects and concludes that he would never reveal his thunder power to the students since it is much too uncommon. 2 months later, they are in class, and their instructor informs them about the stars. The stars encircling their badge illuminate in proportion to their strength. He asks the talented Mubai to stand up as a demonstration. As he concentrates on his magic, 5 stars appear on his badge. The whole class applauds and congratulates him on his accomplishment. Later, some students begin criticizing Mofan, claiming that his family sold their home in order for him to achieve a single star. Mofan leaves the class and goes somewhere private to practice his fire magic. Despite his constant efforts, he is still only at 1 star. He leaves thinking to himself that it is still good that he can use the thunder magic. He runs out when he hears a scream and discovers Xingxia, his friend who is unable to walk. He greets her and learns that some thugs took her wheelchair. As the criminals are debating what to do with her, Mofan approaches them. They make fun of him for being weak like his friend and dare him to fight. Mofan charges his thunder magic to 7 stars and zaps their master. His minions beg him to spare them and flee. He then delivers the wheelchair to Xingxia, who compliments him on his ability to utilize magic. Later, while bathing, he considers how he must completely utilize his thunder to grasp his firepower. When he comes out of the bath, Stincia enters the room and informs him that she had no idea he had mastered the Thunder Mage. She then questions whether he has joined any cults because he has just been a magician for 6 months and has this control over thunder magic. He denies it and walks her out of the room. When he walks into class the following day, he sees their new practical magic instructor, Tang Yu, standing behind him. She then orders every fire magician to stand up, which only a few students obey. Then she performs a tremendous fire strike on a target, which she calls Fire Burst, a level 1 fire-type spell. Mubai and his uncle talk about Mofan's future, and his uncle tells him that he will be dismissed from school shortly. When Mubai hears this, he tells him that Mofan isn't that awful at magic, and that he isn't that weak, given that only D-grade kids are expelled. On the other hand, his uncle responds that he has defiled the Mu family's reputation, and that they would use the Dark Stone to wipe out his power and get him a D in exams. Meanwhile, Mofan is learning to utilize fire magic and worries about passing the next test. He starts by attacking the targets with his fire magic. The next day, their instructor tells them they will be assessed based on the brightness of the orb. A is the highest grade, while D is the lowest. On exam day, the students form lines on a field and Professor Mu and Ningshu emerge on stage. The instructor requests that the professor address the students, and he does so. Following his speech, Ningshu is requested to show her ice power, which she accomplishes by cracking the orb. Following that, the pupils are graded. When it comes to Xiaohao's turn, he receives an A, but he requests magic release, which enables a gifted mage to reach the elite class and get a star bracelet. However, he fails and the students begin to mock him. Mubai's time arrives and he receives an S since his magical might is too mighty. He then does magic release, which scored B. Professor Mu asks Ningshu what she thinks of him and she says he's alright. Finally, Mofan's turn comes and one of the professors places the Dark Stone underneath the magical orb. As Mofan prepares to demonstrate his magic, the orbs shine insufficiently, and Miss Tang detects something. Mofan tries his hardest and breaks the Dark Stone, earning him a B grade. Everyone is shocked that he accomplished this given his lack of talent. On the other hand, Miss Tang argues that the orb is malfunctioning and demands that his test be retaken. Ningshu, too, notices something out of the ordinary, and they agree to have him retake his test. He tries again, and to everyone's amazement, the magic orb glows brightly and he receives an S. The director compliments him, and Miss Tang instructs him to lead the stage. However, he insists on demonstrating the magic release. On the other hand, Mubai attempts to persuade himself that since Mofan concentrates entirely on the stars, he would be unable to defeat him in magic release. Mofan receives an A for his magic release demonstration. Everyone is amazed that the person who was labeled as untalented has suddenly earned the highest grade in magic release. Professor Mu then summons him and invites him to join the Mu family, where he would be supported in his goal to become a great magician. Mofan, on the other hand, refuses and insults him. He then demands that he apologize to his father, claiming that the Mu family harmed him and that he hasn't been the same. When Mubai hears this, he insists on fighting Mofan to teach him a lesson. But Mofan challenges Mr. Mu to a battle, and he replies that his adopted son Yuan will fight on his behalf. Miss Tang informs them that the school prevents minor pupils from fighting and that their battle will take place in 2 years. Mofan demands that if he wins, the Mu family apologize to his father for insulting him. When the new semester begins, Miss Tang, their magical teacher, will be teaching them again. Another instructor then declares that only the top 3 kids will be allowed to wear the star bracelet for 30 days because they are too valuable. He does, however, notify Mofan that since he offended Mr. Mu, he would only be able to wear it for 10 days. Later, during practicing, Mubai reveals to Mofan that even the Mu family takes turns wearing the star bracelet and that Ningshu only uses it for exercise. Mofan wonders why he is rapidly increasing his magical ability and whether it is due to the necklace he is wearing. Later that night, while toying with his star bracelet, his pendant absorbs it. Miss Tang notices him and warns him that he will be in trouble if he does not speak up. He then informs her that the necklace is a family treasure, to which she responds that it is similar to the star bracelet but works better since it helps the wearer rapidly grow his magical strength. On the other hand, it feeds on magic and grows as it absorbs power. She instructs him not to reveal it to anybody and to keep it secure. As she prepares to go, she tells him not to worry about the star bracelet since she has him covered. The following day, Miss Tang and their class instructor drive them to the Snowy Peak outpost, where they would be trained. One of the children stands up and asks how they would battle the monsters there, to which she answers that the teachers are there to protect them. Later, their chief teacher, Zhang Kong, tells them that they will be participating in the monster hunt. Some pupils are pleased, while others are horrified at risking their lives. Their instructor asks the chief teacher whether he isn't being too severe on the kids, to which he responds that they will never learn to defend themselves in any other way. Mofan asks what they would get for hunting the monsters, and he says that he will personally give the students some of his magic armor. Mofan becomes delighted because he believes it will benefit him. The students ascend a cliff to get a bird's-eye view of the jungle. As there are no other options, Mofan's friend is requested to utilize his wind magic to tie the rope to a tree on another cliff. Later, the kids look for the monster and a plant traps one. With his ice power, Mubai effortlessly eliminates the plant and saves the student. The two parties meet up with each other and begin their journey to the cave of the one-eyed demon wolf. Meanwhile, the teachers debate whether or not the one-eyed demon wolf exists and whether what is awaiting them is something else. Despite the rain, Mofan sees that the pond's water level has dropped by half as the students separate into groups. He informs his companion that something has consumed the water, and his friend rushes to inform Mubai's group. When he tells them, they mock him, telling him that if he's so terrified, he should wait outside. However, as they continue, they discover a massive wolf waiting for them in the den. The students are terrified and flee the cave. Mubai fights the wolf as Mofan saves one of the pupils. The teachers disclose that the wolf is Instructor Yang's pet, and he has given it orders not to hurt any of the students. Meanwhile, Mofan rushes back into the cave to save the student. Despite Mubai's ice assault and the other students' thunder attack, the wolf gets back up. On the other hand, Mofan comes and uses the level 2 flame burst cremation, and the wolf dives into the pond to extinguish the flames on its body. The instructors are astounded to discover that there is at least one brilliant student. However, the wolf's owner informs them that the wolf is not responding, and they decide to go there, concerned for the student's safety. As the archwolf emerges from the water, it assaults one of the students, but Xiaohao protects her immediately. Mofan then confronts it, but immediately flees. When the wolf notices him, it strikes, but Xiaohao protects him with wind magic. The two then draw it into the cave's depths. The students are debating whether or not to rescue them when the chief instructor arrives. He inquires about the wolf's whereabouts, and they inform him that it rushed further into the cave after the students. In the meanwhile, Xiaohao and Mofan are battling the wolf, and the former is hurt. Mofan utilizes his thunder magic to paralyze it since he has no other option. After that, he casts fire magic on a massive stalactite rock overhead, piercing his body. The archwolf dies, and the chief teacher comes shortly after. When he discovers the archwolf is no longer alive, he is shocked and wonders how he killed it. He is skeptical, but Mofan tells him they must rescue his friend. On their way back, the others come to assist them and are shocked to see that the wolf has been slain. The wolf's owner then accuses the professors of murdering it, but the head instructor informs him that it is Mofan, surprising everyone. They'd all start praising Mofan for rescuing them and becoming the best magician in the class. While Teacher Yang is mourning the loss of his pet, the chief instructor instructs the student to leave him, and everyone reminds him of his pledge to grant magic armor to the winner. When he learns this, he is disappointed since he does not want to give it to any student. Later, the pupils are graded and Mofan receives an S on stage. The chief privately invites him to join his group, to which Mofan responds that he must first graduate. He then considers the possibility that Mofan is concealing something from them. Suddenly, he receives word from his subordinates that the Bone Wolf demons are wreaking devastation in his domain, and he instructs them to prepare for an assault. Mofan is seated on the rooftop 2 months later, wondering if he can quickly attain level 2 thunder magic. He believes getting a job would benefit him financially and allow him to use his thunder magic. He remembers Chief Teacher Kong's recommendation to join the Monster Hunter and decides to become a hunter. The following day, he disguises himself in a hoodie and goes to a monster hunting group. He discovers 2 hunters looking for an easy job in front of the Hunting Employment Board. As they are ready to depart, Mofan grabs one of them and asks how he can join the group. He tells him that fire types are popular these days. Mofan inquires about thunder, to which he responds that they are instantly accepted. He then joins the crew and waits for his turn. The organization's boss is unhappy with management for failing to interview even a single competent mage. When Mofan's time comes, he demonstrates that he is a thunder magician, and their boss accepts him without hesitation. He then introduces everyone on the crew to his alias identity, Fan Mo. They do, however, obtain a job rescuing a girl from the monster, and they prepare to leave. The boss orders Mofan to go home, but he insists on accompanying them, and they comply. Mofan calls Xingxia as they arrive at their location, but she does not answer the phone. Later, while searching for the girl at the school, Xingxia notifies him that she is safe and that another female is still there. As he turns his sight, he meets a steely look glaring through the transparent wall. When Mofan sees the monster's eye, it assaults him. Mofan, on the other hand, avoids it owing to his excellent thoughts. The monster then begins sprinting around the classroom, attempting to catch up with Mofan. But suddenly, his companions emerge and effortlessly dominate the combat against the monster due to their speed. Mofan is taken aback when he witnesses the wind magician use level 2 wind magic. Their boss then unleashes Firestorm, a level 3 fire spell, to knock out the Cyclops. However, when they let down their guard and lunges to attack Kai Tang, Mofan attacks and defeats it with his thunder magic. The water mage apologizes for not realizing it was still alive, and their boss chastises her. They then get word that the other Cyclops has taken the girl and begin to pursue them. Their supervisor teases Kai Tang on the bus, and one of their colleagues notices a slew of missed calls on Mofan's phone. Mofan then departs, only to be met by Xingxia. He leans out to embrace her, and she expresses her concern. The following day, Mofan gets compensation for the task, and their supervisor notifies him that he is now a full-time team member. Meanwhile, at Mu Mansion, Mr. Mu pays a visit to an ice magician and tells him that since he is the most skilled among his friends, he should swiftly achieve level 3 magic. When he says he is no match for Ningxu, Mr. Mu replies that he should focus on himself in his match with Mofan. Yuang responds that Mofan is not a worthy adversary. Later, his father summons him to his room and chastises him for holding parties and festivities at home. In response, he suggests that his father find him a good opponent so that he may be in training for the battle. His father responds that Principal Zhu organized it, and that he had no other alternative. In the classroom, Xiaoho inquires about Mofan's absence and tells him that a student, Zhao Min, may be in love with him. Mo is approached by Zhao Min, who invites him to see her evening. The meeting takes place at a factory site, and Mo thinks it's an odd venue for a date. However, she informs him that her grandmother has seen something and that tremors occur here. The two continue their investigation and soon discover the one-eyed wolf devouring a body. The wolf notices them and begins pursuing them. He orders Zhou to take the civilians to safety and confronts the enemies by himself. Mo makes every effort to beat it, but fails and sends a signal to his bounty hunters unit. Kai Tang and Yuang arrive, and the two resist the wolf, while Mo flees to wear the mask. When his boss comes, he tells him to hurry up. As he approaches, Kai Tang uses her power to freeze the wolf while Mo employs his thunder magic. Their boss explains that he requested backup since they can't overcome it independently. On the other hand, the wolf smashes the ice and transforms into a warrior-level monster. They stop fighting it, but their boss reminds them that it is still developing and hasn't finished evolving yet. They begin attacking again in the hopes of preventing it from evolving. They give it their all, but the wolf always comes out on top. Mo hits the wolf with level 2 magic, Thunderstorm, and prevents it from developing while they attempt to escape with their boss. Their boss instructs them to be like him or millions of people will perish. As Mo becomes exhausted and is ready to be attacked by the wolf, the famed water mage Zhuge appears and rescues him. He quickly defeats the wolf and then tells Mo that he is pleased with his performance and that he has the potential to become an excellent thunder mage. Later, as he is getting ready to scale the dorm wall, Zhou appears from behind, weeping, and embraces him, concerned for his safety. The following day, he gives Xingxia money and tells her to go shopping. She then tells him that she has awakened a healing-type power and can help him with his tasks in the future. Mo and Xiao Hao are relaxing under a tree when Miss Tang comes up and informs him that the principal needs to see him. Mo is told at the principal's office that Mu Zhuang is throwing a party for Yu Ang's coming of age, and that the two will duel there. He informs them that the winner will be able to bathe in the sacred spring, which increases one's strength, and that only one person is permitted to enter once a year. Meanwhile, inside the Mu house, Mu Zhuang tells Ningxu that Yu will easily overcome Mo and become the city's most renowned magician. He goes on to say that he will be her faithful aide in the future and will assist her with her responsibilities. Later, Ningxu meets up with Mo and tells him to leave the city since Yu would not show him mercy, and he may be gravely injured. He responds that he will not flee because he wants vengeance on his father. He then tells her how much he loves his father and how much his father has helped him in his life. She informs him that Mr. Mu took Yu Ang in from a street when he was 7, and ever since then, instructed him to become a great magician. The next day, when he arrives at the mansion for a battle, his squad members are unresponsive when he confronts them. Kong later visits him and invites him to join their bounty hunting group, but he rejects it. The duel approaches and Mu Zhuang declares that the two gifted magicians will square off. They confront each other on the battlefield. The audience watches as they start fighting one another. Yu avoids all of Mo's strikes because of his shoes, which enable him to move quickly. Yu then begins to use his level 3 ice abilities and Mo's flames cannot keep up. Mu Zhuang grins, believing Yu's triumph is close. Mo is about to freeze when he suddenly unleashes level 3 fire-type magic, Firestorm, and hits Yu. This rips Yu's garments, revealing a magical armor impervious to fire. When Chief Instructor Kong notices this, he informs Mo that they already know how good he is, and that he should quit fighting since he has no chance of overcoming you. Mo, on the other hand, unleashes his thunder magic and amazes everyone. He shows that he has also attained level 3 magic before hitting Yuang with it, and Yuang collapses in defeat. Everyone is surprised to learn that there is someone with 2 magical skills, and his teammates now understand why he seems so familiar. Miss Tang is quite pleased with him, remarking that he not only mastered 2 magical skills but also advanced to level 3 in each of them. Mofan declares himself the winner after the bout. What does destiny hold for Mofan, who has now revealed his secret to the world? Find out in the next video. For now, leave a like and subscribe for more.